Assalamualaikum and good day to our panel, Dr. Salfarina and Dr. Aino. So my name is Muhammad Afiq bin Muhammad Nizam. I'm from Bachelor of Science, Land Administration and Development. Today I would like to present my research that is problems arising from the land acquisition of customary land in accordance with Adat Pepatih in Negeri Sembilan. For the introduction, customary lands in the practice of the Adat Pepatih in Negeri Sembilan are assets that have been preserved from ancient times to the present. It has also been codified in the form of legislation with the enactments that are also supported by the provision of the state and country constitutions. However, in the current era of development in Malaysia, changes and rapid economic growth have caused many individual lands to be taken for economic development purposes such as establishing business complex, stadiums, power stations, and even highways. The Land Acquisition Act is a set of laws specifically designed to reclaim individual land for the development of the Malaysian economy. Next is the problem statement. In general, not many people know about customary lands in Negeri Sembilan due to the lack of public knowledge about Adat Pepatih, and many in Negeri Sembilan themselves do not know the background and information related to it. In contrast to land acquisition for Malay Reserve land, it requires replacement of land acquired elsewhere, but not for customary land acquisition, where the land is not replaced as compensation will be given to the beneficiary of the customary land itself. It is an issue for customary heirs and other beneficiaries as well as the customary land authority to protect the interests of the customary landowner. This is because this sensitive issue is set to undermine the duties of the head of the unit which preserve the customary heirs of land such as Buah Pak, Datuk Lembaga, Datuk Luwak Undang and then Yam Tuan. In addition, to issues of concern that customary land reduction in Negeri Sembilan, it is also a problem for developers in the context of land acquisition to propose a land application for the purpose contained in Section 3 to obtain the consent of the owners as trustees. The consent of the owner as trustee is strong. It is important that the owner is the trustee and it cannot be decided on its own. The aim of the study is to review the laws involved in the existing law relating to customary land in Negeri Sembilan as well as the scope of implementation in managing customary land. It is also able to identify legal issues that require further study so that the customary practice that have been practiced will not be obscured by times due to the loss of land by development and acquisition of the land. Next, the research objective. Research objective is to review the management of customary land acquisition procedure in accordance with custom practice Adat Pepatih in Negeri Sembilan, especially in Kuala Pilah, in order to resolve issue arising from land acquisition application. And secondly is identify the latest data and information regarding the amount of customary land in district in Negeri Sembilan, especially in the district of Kuala Pilah. The research methodology. For the first stage, the author has implemented the process of selecting the title of the article and initial understanding of how the study can be conducted. This is done in reference to the National Land Code, the Federal Constitution and the Land Acquisition Act, related journals, the internet, related newspapers. The problem statement was identified after the initial study was conducted to formulate the objective of the study. Second, theoretical study stage. The author has read the reference material that has been compiled to obtain legal facts related to the land acquisition procedure and the objection raised during the trial. Reading on this study will conduct on printed materials such as National Land Code, Land Acquisition Act, Custom Holding Enactment, Chapter 215, Custom Holdings, Related Laws, Thesis, Internet, Newspaper Clipping and more. For field study stage, involve the primary and secondary data on the customary land and the process of acquisition of the customary land. This study include the data collection method of primary data and secondary data. The primary data obtained by using qualitative methods through interview with respondent, official and staff at Kuala Pilah District and Land Office who directly involved in the land acquisition process, and also interview with Dato' Adat Johor. Secondary data obtained from relevant land laws pertaining to land acquisition and customary land related enactments. For data analysis stage, primary and secondary data were analysed to meet the objective of the preliminary study. For the last stage, that is finding of the study, analysis should be carried out once all data has been fully extracted from various sources to achieve the goals set forth in the present case study. The analysis is done manually and should be referred to previously completed case for reference. A summary and conclusion can be made once the analysis is fully operational. The author will state the issues that are being addressed and the steps to address and suggest improvements. For the literature review, according to enactment relating to customary land, authorized land administration for customary land in Negeri Sembilan today is regulated and managed by enactments. First, the Custom Enactment Section 215 is used to administrate customary land in Kuala Pilah, Jempol, Jelebu, Rembau, Tampin and Gemas. The second enactment is the Customary Holding Enactment 1960. The enactment is for the purpose of administering customary land in Kuala Pilah only. And the third is the Rembau Land Enactment 1949. The enactment was used to administer 5 lots of land in the Rembau areas, specifically for the Undang Luak Rembau and its successors. The main objective of the custom is to provide for the continuation of the tribe through its female members to prevent the isolation of the property, so that it is always sufficient to provide maintenance for the women through whom the tribe can continue, according to Nizam 2007. Harun 1997, the customary land holding enactments provide for the registration of land to individuals entitled to inherit the customary land. The basic principle of customary law is that all property is like customary land to tribal and not individual. Thus, the nominee whose name is on the land registration record is considered the trustee of the tribe that owns it. The concept of customary landlord as trustees has been explained by a researcher from a local public university, that is A. Rahman, 2015. He said that, based on history, the concept came from the practice of the Minangkabau people who came from Indonesia to Negeri Sembilan. They open up new settlements collectively and make the area a tribal ownership. Later, the land was handed over to women as trustees from one generation to the next according to adat property. According to Manaf 2009, in the case of individual title to customary land, the owner has the right to collect, secure and receive compensation on the land. As the generation have grown with the passage of time, the number of customary land owner on the register has increased. With the increase in customary land, the amount of land owned by an owner is very small. A study by Nazar Harun published in 1997 shows that in many cases, there are less than 1 acre of customary land, but there are 40 to 50 owners. The number of owners will increase with the increase in the number of girls, according to Azima 2011. 2. This fact was also acknowledged by Haji Sulaiman Karimi, a former officer in Negeri Sembilan. In his 2015 lecture, for a single lot of land, there was only one issue of title release. Balian E 2010 state that Adat Perpati emphasized that people live together in harmony daily life. The legal right to inherit family property is given to women. This is done through consultation and deliberation, which will be attended by representatives of each tribe who have a customary leader known as the institution. Leaders of each level are appointed from the bottom. In creating culture of civil community, every consultation will be held in the traditional home of Negeri Sembilan. There is a system of administrative in Negeri Sembilan, from Buapak, Lembaga, Undang, and then Yang Tuan Besar. Following this form of administration, the head of custom function or Adat Perpati in customary land, according to Idris 2015. Okay, next, the principle of land acquisition. The land that can be acquired is individual land, customary or reserve land, and land in the hope of ownership. The state authority may acquire any land required of public purpose by any person or body for any purpose which in the opinion of them is beneficial to the economic development of Malaysia or any part thereof to the general public or any class of people for the purpose of mining or for residential, agricultural, commercial, industrial, recreational or any other combination thereof. Okay, next there is a procedure for the land acquisition from Form A to Form K.
Okay, we will go to data analysis and findings.
In obtaining data and information to complete the study, the researcher has used interview methods of several respondents to assist in the analysis of the study. The researcher obtained data from several officials and staff at the district land office as well, and Ketua Adat at Mukim Luak Johor. As a result of interview with officials at district and land office, land is a fixed asset that must be maintained and managed well to help accelerate economic growth and development at home and in the country. In Negeri Sembilan, such as in the Kuala Pilah district in particular, there are many customary lands still left without any development or being carried out them due to the understanding and practice of the community bound by the practice of Adat Perpati. The customary land will be passed on the woman only, and the situation will render the man less inclined to jointly cultivate the customary land. Consequently, the inherited customary land, moreover, into the era of development and modernization, is important for the state government or the private sector such as developers or any corporation to develop an area for the benefit of the public and the local community. The phenomenon of idle land cannot be left unresolved. Land is a key factor in determining the progress of a country. If a vacant customary land can be cultivated and developed well, it will bring benefits and economic returns that will help the development of the global economy. Effort to maximize land use are in line with the concept that if we are generous to our land returns and the benefit we will enjoy can benefit the landlord. Therefore, in order to ensure that all planned projects are effective, the following parties must ensure that all needs or services and facilities are properly developed for the benefit of the public. Therefore, land acquisition of some customary land in Negeri Sembilan need to be done for the project to be effective. However, it is important for all parties to understand the practice and importance of customary land in accordance with customary practice, that is adat papatih, before the acquisition. Based on an interview conducted with Ketua Adat Mukim Luwak Johor, that is Tok Batin, the study found that there was a customary head who took care of this land so that it would be passed on the rightful Datuk Adat or Ketua Suku. The process of land acquisition should be notified the Undang Luwak before making a customary land acquisition. Next, consent must be obtained with the approval of the Undang. A conference will be held between the Land Office and Datuk Adat to discuss the acquisition of land for the customary land area required. Okay, next, although this customary land may seem idle or not effectively developed, the beneficiaries of the land, Buapa or Datuk Adat, and Undang Luwak Johor are responsible and trustworthy in ensuring that the customary land is maintained to the rightful heirs of women. Of course, some issues and disagreements regarding this customary land acquisition. Kuala Pilah district is located under the jurisdiction of the Undang Luwak Johor, that is Datuk Johan Pahlawan Lela Perkasa Setiawan Muhammad Abdullah. Analyze on emerging issues. Returning to the issue of land acquisition of customary land, it is a matter of concern for the jurisdiction of the ruling class if the customary land continues to be acquired. This is because the customary land taken back by the state government has not been replaced. It is not same as in case of Malay Reserve land that replaced to the other areas. For them, the practice of inheriting this customary land is important to ensure that the custom is not consumed in time. The trust and responsibilities inherited in the tradition are expected to erode and diminish the authority of the government. Referring to the customary holding enactment of Section 215/1960, it has been declared that customary land is land under the title of Land Office, and it is inherited by under the same tribal heritage as a group. Later, in the registration of the customary land register, the name of the tribe is only available and practiced by some of the people in Negeri Sembilan. Okay, next, in the customary holding enactment of Section 215, Section 2 state that the purpose of customary land that has been registered and endorsed under customary land tenure enactment, land must be maintained, governed by customary administration and regulation. This section also tightens regulation by prohibiting customary land transfer activities to individuals who are not of the same ethnic group. Then Section 4 state that all management record data in the recording of customary land must be managed by the land administrator and placed under a land office document. Subsequently, in Section 5 of the same enactment, it states that all matters and activities carried out in connection with customary land, such as land transfer or collateral, shall only be performed in accordance with custom. Therefore, in managing the customary land of the community, adopting the customary system must adhere to all the rules set forth in the customary holding enactment of Section 215 to facilitate business. Obviously, all matters involving customary land should be carried out in the manner prescribed and inherited. However, land that can be acquired in accordance with Section 2 Land Acquisition Act 1960 is land occupied under the GSA Act, land owned, occupied by land in the hope of title, and including land occupied by title on the customary site. This clearly shows that customary land can also be taken over, even though the government expressed the concern over the customary land that will be swallowed up by the gradual decline of customary land of their tribe and jurisdiction. However, only the process and procedure for land acquisition are different because they need to go through Datuk Adat and undang luak permission before the next transaction. It is important in securing and obtaining the right of their heirs and tribe over the land. A conference was held between the Land Office and Datuk Adat to discuss the land acquisition. Customary land in data in Kuala Pilah. Based on the data information in the Kuala Pilah district obtained land office, the Stream 90 district has a maximum of 2,380 lots, and Pekas Naling is the smallest of 2 lots. District and area for customary land in Negeri Sembilan, Kuala Pilah have the most customary land, and Jelebu have the smallest area of customary land. Seremban and Port Dickson do not have the customary land. So for the discussion, referring to the first objective of reviewing the management of customary land acquisition procedure in accordance with the adat pepatih practice in Negeri Sembilan, particularly in Kuala Pilah, the study found that there were differences with the common acquisition procedure under the Land Acquisition Act. For example, prior to filing a Section 4 or Section 8 order to acquire the customary land, the matter must address to the Datuk Adat first, who is responsible for the preservation of the customary land. Next, to get permission from Undang Luak Johor, there is Datuk Johan Pahlawan, Lela Perkasa Setiawan Muhammad Abdullah. And next, a conference will be held between the Land Office and the Datuk Adat to discuss the acquisition. The joint trial of land owner with the customary land here with Datuk Adat, developers and the land administrator will be held again following the announcement, Session 8 in Kuala Pilah Office District for compensation and other matters. Further, the second objective of the study was to identify the latest data and information of the amount customary land in a district in Negeri Sembilan, especially Kuala Pilah, as well as the finding and recent data available at Kuala Pilah District and Land Office of Negeri Sembilan. Okay, based on the data and information obtained, the customary land in Negeri Sembilan is in decline because of the state authority do the acquisition of land for public purpose. In addition, the result of the interview have also found that dealing with custom land in Negeri Sembilan, such as application to eligible beneficiaries, can refer to the system introduced in the official website of Land Administration in Negeri Sembilan via e-adat.
Okay, as a result of this study,
some suggestions for the future are that the Land Office should be improve the system for customary land dealing in e-adat on their website. This is because there are still many drawbacks to the system. Researchers have suggested that e-adat system be equipped with more in-depth data on the jurisdiction of the Negeri Sembilan government, contactable individuals such as Bapa and Datuk Adat, and the names of the highest and tribal members clearly to help facilitate the community. In addition, the researchers suggest the government replace the land taken for preservation of traditional land asset and the customary practice of adat pepatih that have long been preserved in Kuala Pilah for generations to come. In addition, it introduced the topic of customary land in the subject of land law so that it would be exposed to the students who are majoring in land administration and development, so that this disclosure could provide a better understanding of the customary land legal enactment practiced by some communities in Negeri Sembilan Darul Khusus.
thank you.
That's all from me. Thank you.